There aren't many athletes who are better at their craft than Granite Bay senior Avery Seva.
That's right, but it was nearly 5 years ago that her softball career came to an abrupt halt. Our Nick Pecoraro has more on Avery's journey to becoming one of the top pitchers in the Sierra Foothill League.
It's a cool, quiet spring break afternoon on the Granite Bay softball field. Senior pitcher Avery Seva is getting work in with that same type of demeanor that she channels on game days.
In the circle, she's very calm, cool, and collected. Like, you can't see an emotion on her face, ever.
She's a creature of habit, so she has a routine that she is super disciplined and sticks to. I don't really have to manage her that much.
I just think that being in the center of every play, being like a super big role in the game of softball, I think that really called to me, and I wanted to be in the game the entire time, so that's why I chose pitching.
But it was nearly 5 years ago, in a rare travel game in which Avery was not in the circle, that nearly ended her softball career.
She was playing third base. She had pitched the game before, so I kind of had to mix girls around and play in positions that they normally don't play that morning.
There was a play at third and a girl slid into my leg.
The relay throw came in, and the throw kind of brought her into the lane of the runner, and I don't know that the runner really knew that there was going to be a play, and so when she saw that it was going to happen, she kind of slid late.
Broke my tibia and fibula, and both bones came out of the skin, compound fracture.
The third base coach for their team came sprinting over to our dugout, and he was freaking out, and he was like, "It's broken, her leg is broken," and I mean, it was going in two different directions.
All of a sudden, Avery's life was going in different directions. After 2 surgeries and a 7-inch metal plate in her ankle, Avery struggled with what came next.
Just kind of halted my life. So I'm kind of the person that needs an outlet always. I'm a very physical and kind of exercise type of person, and I always need that outlet to clear my space. So when I hurt my leg, that put a complete stop on any physical activity that I was allowed to do. So being stagnant for so long, I just got really severe depression.
For our whole life, Avery's been very, very just she's a burst of energy wherever she goes. When Avery enters the room. And during that time, she definitely wasn't she physically couldn't be that burst of energy, jumping around like she always had been, but mentally she was dimmed.
She definitely wanted to quit a few times, but there wasn't anything else really to fill that void for her, both physically and socially, at the time.
It would be at least 3 months before Avery could put any weight on her leg, and a full year before she could even think of stepping on the softball field again. And even that took some soul searching.
Coming back from that injury like that, I didn't have the motivation to get back to where I was. But sophomore year, my sister committed, and we're a very competitive household. And so seeing that my sister committed, I wanted to see if I could do that as well. I wanted to kind of prove to myself and to others that I can get back to the progressive where I was before I broke my leg. And so when I found that motivation, I kind of just took it and ran with it.
Avery says she found her stride again around the end of her sophomore year at Granite Bay. A solid season with a 6-3 record and a 2.37 ERA, but then she just kept improving in her junior year, going 10-3 with a sub-2 ERA and more than double her strikeout total from the previous year.
It was oh my gosh, where'd this Avery come from? She was definitely that spark plug energy again, throwing faster than we've ever seen before. She was 100%. Playing with Avery is just inspirational in a way that I know that I can do anything, because she literally came back from pretty much a career-ending injury and came in to literally be probably, in my opinion, the best pitcher in SFL.
Avery's resiliency has opened up the door to play Division I softball at Santa Clara University.
I don't think I could be more proud of her at this point. I just don't think there's much that would take her out at this point. She really knows how to overcome adversity, and has a clear mind about it, and controls what she can control, and I don't worry about her that much anymore. So which is a good change, because there was a couple years there where it was draining for both her mom and I.
Looking back at like where I was even like 3 years ago or 2 years ago compared to now, like the growth has just been like astronomical. And I think that if you really set your mind to anything, you can do a lot more than you think.
Reporting from Granite Bay, Nick Pecoraro, 49ers Sac-Hi Sports.
Granite Bay will be a force to be reckoned with in the Sac Joaquin section playoffs in a couple of weeks. As for Avery, she entered the week in the running for the SFL pitching triple crown, topping the league leaderboards in wins, strikeouts, and ERA.
What an amazing comeback. Good for her.